thank you to everyone who's already spoken. We really appreciate that. Those are the kind of stories that we need, because those are the stories that we can take back to the General Assembly. They're going to be able to see these stories on tape for the delegation who needs to hear about what's going on at home. So for those folks who have spoken, again, remember, you can go to the back and actually call folks tonight. Anybody who doesn't wish to speak, if you want to call and leave a message for your legislator tonight, we've got volunteers here who can do that with you. So please, it is absolutely critical that we do that. Okay, our next group of three, Mr. Egan, Ms. Kilpatrick, and Ms. Carter. If you could come up, please.
I'm the director of the Rockingham County Partnership for Children, so I see one other Rockingham County face here. During the day, I'm also a single parent of a 6-year-old child, so I have some major concerns about the budget, obviously, like most of you do. The proposed cuts to services for young children ages birth to 5 are very devastating. We, in our agency, serve families across the spectrum. Certain programs have income requirements, certain ones don't. And my concern is kind of across the board that the families we serve need help with parenting, they need help with health insurance, they need help with childcare, just things that help them meet their children's basic needs. And then for families who can meet the basic needs, they need help with supporting their children and being prepared for school. So we've had to make cuts already this year that have impacted our children, our families, and are facing the possibility of having to make huge cuts for next year. We're a county where we have a high unemployment rate, I think roughly 12%. So we've got families who are losing their jobs, who are then losing their child care subsidy, who then want to go look for the very few jobs that are available, but have nothing to do with their children. So they have to make choices to put their children in unsafe environments, whether it's leaving them with a neighbor who maybe can't care for them, whether it's leaving them at home by themselves where they're way too young to take care of their needs. And then those children eventually are going to turn 5, and they're going to come to kindergarten and they're not going to be ready to succeed. And brain research shows that what happens between birth to 5 is really crucial brain development. The neurons that are forming at that time, the skills that children develop before they get to school have a huge impact on what happens when they get to school. So if we have our babies coming to school and not ready, then here we have a public education system having to serve them with limited funding. So I have major concerns about that. As a parent of a child who may enter public school next year, who may not, I have major concerns about cuts to public education that will increase class size, potentially shorten the school year. And I think about, I've always been really proud to work for an agency like Smart Start, to work with a program like More Afford that prepares children in the pre-kindergarten year, and to think that as a state that's been really progressive, we've come so far in the past 10 to 15 years that now we're going to take these huge steps backwards. The same week that the More Afford pre-kindergarten program was ranked as one of the top 2 state-funded pre-K programs in the country, is the same time we're talking about making drastic cuts to it, and it doesn't really match up. So I'm hopeful that things will look better at some point, but for the immediate future right now, I do have some major concerns about the little people who can't vote and who don't have a voice. Thanks.
I know I'm short, so I'm going to try to back up here. My name is Teresa Carter, and I'm a provider here in Winston-Salem, and we contract with Center Quarantine Services. We work with targeted case management and also community support and outpatient therapy. I have been in Raleigh for the last 3 weeks to every budget reading. And I'm sorry, folks, this is a slap in our faces. This is terrible. We are going back to the 60s and 70s with this budget. I watched my mother, who was bipolar, was diagnosed in the 60s, go without service, go without medication, and she ended up committing suicide at the age of 49. This budget is going to make this happen to some people the same way that it happened to my mother. We have got to make this fair for everybody. I know we need cuts, but this is the most vulnerable population of people. They want to cut DD. They want to cut people who are mentally ill. They want to cut people who have substance abuse issues. And I bet if you ask every North Carolinian If they have a family member or a friend with any of these issues, they'll say yes. I spoke with probably 5 representatives this Tuesday in Raleigh. And I have to say that the calls that are coming in are helping. There are a lot of representatives that are voting no on this budget, and we need to continue to call. Tomorrow, actually, about 25 of our clients are going to the Appropriations Committee in person. And if any of you would like to go and take clients, family members, please do, because they need to see faces. They need to see where these cuts, who are going to get these cuts. If you look at the budget, this is the third one I've looked at, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And one of the big things is they want to eliminate community support services. Community support services was one of the enhanced services that was in the mental health reform. And y'all probably seen papers and how there was issues and trouble with that. But I feel like today that the providers that are providing community support services are doing the way the definition should be done. And the legislators are looking at the past. They're looking at the first year of community support. And yes, it was a mess, but now it's not. And there's a lot of success stories out there. There are people who are really doing well with community support services. So that's one thing that's going to get, they want to eliminate from the budget. Another thing is they want to raise co-pays for Medicaid from $3 to $5. I'm sorry, but we have people can't pay $3. They can't pay $1. And they want to add that up to $5. They want people with Medicaid when they go to the ER, which I'm sorry, if this budget passes, the ER is going to be packed with people because they're not going to have anywhere to go. They want to cut residential 2 and 3, which are residential group homes. Those people have nowhere to go. There's no plan for them. And they want to increase the copay to go to the ER for someone with Medicaid for $50. Now, how many people do you know with Medicaid have $50? Not many. But please, please keep calling. Go to Raleigh tomorrow at 1:30. Fill your vans with people because they need to see where these cuts are coming. There's a couple other things on here that are just, I think, just ridiculous. They want to consolidate all Medicaid case management services. That means all 13 case management services. I have no idea how that's going to look, but it's going to be terrible. And they're throwing out things without really thinking about what it's going to do to the people that are receiving these services, and also the workers. If this budget passes, there are going to be so many people unemployed. People who have passion for this population of people. If any of your case managers or therapists or psychiatrists, you're in this field because you have passion for the people. And the legislators need to see this passion because I don't think they realize how much we do on a daily basis out in the trenches with people. So this is very serious things here, and I really feel like that the way to beat it is to keep calling, to go tomorrow, do emails, and just show them that there's ways they can do. I know they got to cut services, but cut it somewhere else. I mean, I'm willing to pay higher taxes, so these services won't be cut. And for education, for instance, I'm willing to pay higher taxes for services not to be cut. I'm pretty sure everybody in the room would be willing to pay higher taxes. So please keep calling. Another thing I wanted to end with is that they also want to reduce provider rates by 5.5%. And that really is going to put a lot of people in unemployment line. Because what we're going to have to do is lay people off, and we're going to have to put people in that do not have the experience that they need to have to work with this population. So please, please get involved. Keep praying that the budget will not pass. And It didn't pass Tuesday, and I'm hoping it doesn't pass Thursday. Thank you.